Hello, this is Tyrannosaurus Rex. Thank you for that wonderful song. Unfortunately, I didn't understand any of it. RNA molecule, could you please explain the verses of your song to me?
Why, sure. The first verse refers to the idea of an RNA world. This is the idea that before cells, which could use DNA to encode RNA, which would then help to translate proteins, existed on planet Earth, there were much more primitive cells, or perhaps even pre-cells, which used RNA for everything, for their genetic code, and to perform some of the functions that proteins perform in advanced cells today. And one of the reasons it is thought this is because we now understand how complex RNA molecules can be. They can fold upon themselves and form functional areas almost equivalent to the diversity which proteins can form. They don't hold their shape quite as well as proteins, but they have almost the same diversity, and we now know that they can catalyze chemical reactions as well as ribozymes. So RNA molecules certainly very exciting, and possibly the original molecule which ran cells.
Interesting. What did you mean in the second verse about helping to guide the genome? And what does RNA do with DNA and the genome and protein?
What doesn't RNA do? First of all, DNA nucleotides are made from RNA nucleotides. Then, in the process of DNA replication, one needs RNA primers to get DNA polymerase going. And then, while the DNA message stays in the nucleus, it is copied into messenger RNA. But this then requires amino acids to be brought to it by transfer RNA. And this occurs at a place called the ribosome, which is made of ribosomal RNA. And that's not even mentioning the small nuclear RNAs and the small nucleolar RNAs and a bunch of other RNAs, all of which serve vital roles in the functioning of the genome.
I never looked at it that way. Well, what about the ribosome? The ribosome is half protein, and that's where proteins are made. Why mention RNA when talking about the ribosome?
Great question. Arguably, one of the most important chemical reactions to occur in a cell is when two amino acids are joined together to make a peptide bond as proteins are made. And it is the major energy molecule in the cell. When cells make proteins, they use ATP. When DNA replicates, it uses ATP. When chromosomes are pulled apart, they use ATP. When cilia move, they use ATP. When muscles contract, when nerve cells pump ions, when cells use energy of almost any sort, they are using ATP. And so this modified RNA nucleotide is literally the battery that cells use for all of their energy transactions.